What's up, you guys? I'm your girl Sasha Green, and I'm back with another video. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. So yeah, this video is probably not going to be that long, but I did want to get on here and discuss with you guys a little bit about my business, Dress Beyond Success. So as you can see, I got this shirt. It says "Leave Our Kids Alone," and it's like it goes good with the vibe that I'm flowing with, because some people had tried to take my kids away from me a while ago, and I have a house, I have a job, I have a car, I have it all together, on paper, or so it seems, and I know I am a great mom. I love my children love me. So and I've been battling this, and I'm getting a lot of messages, prophetically, that maybe the reason why it's taking so long is maybe it's because God is preparing me to be the best and highest version of myself that I can be for my children. Because like I said, motherhood is a high calling. We just celebrated Mother's Day just recently, and so I just want to make sure that I'm prepared. I'm my baby's mother. I'm a blessing to my babies, and my babies are my blessing. So I just want to be a good mom. And so that's kind of what this shirt is saying. It's saying "Leave our kids alone," because people tend to get attached to our children. They try to take our kids away from us, and our child's soul can be on the line. I had allowed my son to visit with me, or his caregiver had allowed him to visit with us, which it should be the other way around. I should be picking and choosing who my son visits with, and people shouldn't be picking and choosing when I get to spend time with my son. So anyway, we had visited together. We had an outing at a restaurant, and my son was on the phone, and he has a phone, he has a tablet, and he's only 5 years old. He's getting ready to be 6. And I had asked my son, I said, "Where did you get this phone from?" Because I noticed that it was some really bad music on the phone, and I was like, we don't listen to this type of music. We're greens. We don't listen to that type of music. So why would they give my 5-year-old son that type of phone to listen to music on, when clearly he's a child? He shouldn't be listening to lyrics that have cuss words and things like that. So anyway, my son was like, "Well, Mimi gave it to me," or his caregiver had given it to him. And I was like, "Well, why would she do that?" And I said, "Well, I'm going to have a discussion with the caregiver. In the meantime, I'm going to take this phone away from you because you're not supposed to have it." He's like, "But I want my phone because my phone is what I use to play games." I was like, "Well, you have a phone that she had just bought you a week ago, so why do you have this phone now?" And he also has 2 tablets. He has an iPhone, and then he has an iPad, and then he has a tablet that I gave him. But it's like every time I buy something for my son, this person tries to one up with me and get him something else to kind of outdo me. And I've noticed her tactics, and they don't work. But anywho, so I started making these t-shirts back in the day. I started my non-governmental organization before I even had children. I was probably like 2012, 2013, and it's called Dress Beyond Success. So I make little t-shirts, and I do promotional things with my clothes. And since that was kind of the theme that was already kind of going on in my life, is leave our kids alone. And then I heard another Christian artist, Tyson James, that I listen to. He's a Christian rapper, and he had a song called well, I don't know the exact name of the song, but he has a ton of good music, and it's filled with the Holy Spirit. You can tell he's a gifted musician, and I listen to him a lot, as well as I listen to Jordan Armstrong and D1 and Aha, Gazelle, and so many others. Brian Trejo and Brandon Trejo and the Young Disciples. Just a whole bunch of Christian rappers is what I listen to. That's my preference of music, because I have 2 young boys that I'm raising, and I would like them to have a good influence in their life through music as well. Because when I was growing up, I didn't have that. I had a lot of R&B music, a lot of rap music that did not include God. And until this day, I still struggle with that. I still listen to music that does not include God on it, but it's not necessarily degrading as well. So I don't want to be a lukewarm Christian. So I just wanted to put all that out there. All that to say is, so I don't want that type of influence on my children. And they placed my children with this woman who was giving him that type of influence. So I had to take that phone away from him. And then I had to question the reasoning behind it. And he's like, "Well, I just wanted the phone to play games." And maybe that is true. Maybe he did need that phone to play games at that time, because we were waiting for candy and food at the restaurant. And so maybe something to just keep him busy and occupied. He started crying. I said, "No, we're going to have to use our words, because that's not a reason to cry." And so I did, you know, straighten it out. And then I spoke to the caregiver and was like, why did you give my son his phone? He's like, well, you know, somebody else gave it to him. And I just accepted it for him because I said I was going to take out the music or whatever and clean it up and then give it to him. I'm like, well, that's the whole purpose of him having his own phone. And you said you had gotten him a phone before. So why does he need this one? So, yeah, it's sort of like they're doing these things to one up with me when really he doesn't need a phone. He has a tablet. So that's where he can play his games on. Why are they allowing strangers to offer my children things that they don't need? And then too, like I said, my son's teacher tried to swing on him, and so she got fired from her job. And my son was already saying, hey, I'm gonna throw you in the trash. You know, when they make comments like that, that's exactly what they mean. They're gonna figure out a way, them being children will figure out a way to get rid of you out of their lives because you're not doing something right. Something's not lining up with how you're treating my child, and it's going to show through their behavior and how they respond to you. And that's exactly what happened. She wound up swinging on him, and he made it as though, like, you know, he had been having a problem with his teacher all this time, and they finally caught her red-handed trying to swing on my son, and so they got rid of that teacher. And so now my son has a new teacher, and he's getting ready to go to a different school. All that to say is, leave our kids alone. I mean, those are not your children. I don't even hit my children. I've never hit either one of my children. We put our children in time out when they misbehave, and then when they are ready to behave again, we take them out of time out. Yet these people are trying to take my children away from me. I'm like, how is that abuse or neglect if I'm literally teaching my children how to respond to negativity, how to handle conflict, how to speak up for themselves? Because he was crying, you know, when that phone got taken away from him. But I told him, hey, you don't have to cry. You can express yourself through words. Use your words. And he's calmed down and he stopped crying. You know what I mean? And same thing when my son hits his brother, or I catch either one of them hitting each other, I make them apologize to each other. They give each other a hug. They say, I'm sorry. And then they move on. You know, they squash whatever drama it is, and they keep it moving, and they love each other, you know, and that's the way I want to raise my children. I want them to be raised by me respectfully, and I want them to honor their parents, and I don't want anybody in their life who doesn't like me or who is not living up to that to be around my children. And so that's kind of what I had to do in the clip. But yeah, that just goes to show a little bit about my character, and how some people can be envious of my character. And you can just see in this lady's face, the caregiver, how she just wasn't trying to have it. She wasn't trying to hear it. You know, all I'm actually literally is asking her is, can you please not offer that phone to my son, since he already has a phone, he already has a tablet. Why does he need this one? Unless you're going to clean it up and take that music off of there, because it's not appropriate for a 5-year-old. I don't want my child to have that. And she seemed to be offended by that. And I'm like, why is that offensive to you, that I'm raising my son in a particular type of way? Now, you had 30 some odd years or 40 some odd years to raise your children how you wanted to raise them, and they're grown adults and they don't even have kids, which is why you want my kids, because you want to have grandkids and you don't. But that's not my problem. That's none of my business. That's not my fault. That is your own burden that you're putting on me. I didn't push out kids so that you can raise them. I pushed out kids so that I could raise them. God blessed me with my children so that I could be a blessing to my children, and so that my children can be a blessing to me. So why does that bother you so much? How does it include you? Okay? And so that's why I had to straighten her out. But I'm going to share the clip in here, and I hope you guys enjoy it, and I hope you guys have a very blessed day. And I also did start back seeing my therapist, and it has been a blessing so far. I will check back with her again next week, and we're going to continue to kind of work through this, see where this marriage is going, where my family life is going, where my children are going. My husband decided he wants to move out, and that's perfectly fine with me. But I told him, hey, if you want to move out, there's no coming back. So that's where I'm at in this season of my life, and I'm very happy because it's allowing me to release a lot of stress. Just me focusing on what I need to focus on has caused me to lose at least 10 pounds. And so I'm very grateful, because I've been trying to lose weight, and I notice, like, when I'm calmer, when my mood is calmer, I'm getting enough rest, I'm eating proper nutritious meals, or I'm drinking my smoothies and things like that, and I'm getting out and I'm getting encouragement, and people are prophesying over my life, my health improves tremendously. And when people get out of my life that don't serve a purpose to be in my life but to stress me out, it blesses me. So when my husband made that comment that he's gonna, just up and leave, I mean, I had no words. You know, I was numb because it's not hurting me. I feel like it's helping me. It's not making or breaking me that he's here or that he leaves, you know? And so I feel like it's a blessing in disguise. Just like when I met him, I felt like it was a blessing in disguise to meet him and be married to him and have his children. But the fact that he wants to be separated from me and I didn't do anything to him is even more of a blessing, you know, because a lot of times I feel like the ones nearest to you are stressing you out are stressing you out the most. Because a lot of this stuff could have been prevented if my husband would have just stood up for me and our children, or if he would have just held his ground, or if he was a protector, a provider that I know he can be, but he struggles being, you know, with his own mental health issues and things like that, mental health concerns, shall I say. And so with that, I'm very grateful. I have threatened to leave him many times, but I've always held it down for him because I wanted to be loyal to him, and that's fine. It doesn't hurt me. We've been married for 10 years. This is overdue. This is like, it shouldn't have lasted this long, but I love him and I love God more. So we'll see where this goes. I know, you know, his sister-in-law is inviting us to a trip to Florida, but that may not happen now that we're getting ready to separate. You know what I mean? So we'll just see how this plays out. I'm not too caught up on it, you know. And the Bible says in the last day they would be marrying, and God was getting ready to send the flood anyway. So, I mean, it really doesn't matter this time, because when you're married, it's like you're single anyway. You know what I mean? So you really have to focus on what all it is that God wants showing you to do and just be obedient to that. You know, because sometimes people get into marriage and they expect their husbands or their spouses to carry the weight and to give them the joy and the happiness they so desire. But really, all that joy and happiness is coming from within. It comes from within you. You can't depend on others for your happiness, your sacred place. You know, and so just keep that in mind if you're getting married. Make sure you ask all the right questions when you're courting, because I know my husband did wait for me for 8 months before we got married, and then we finally, you know, did get married, and then a few years later we miscarried 2 babies, and then we finally gave birth full term. So yeah, I just wanted to share that little information, and then you might see a clip in here of me opening the package of the shirt, and you know, you might see me, you know, at work, a clip of that, and then the altercation between, well, not even the altercation, discussion that I have with my children and with the caregiver. All right, so stay plugged in. Until next time, stay blessed and stay beautiful. Next clip. Boom.
Probably been around a lot of people.
You brought your phone to school?
No.
You keep your phone at home?
Yeah.
Who gave it to you?
Mimi.
She gave it to you?
Yeah.
What was on there?
Music.
What kind of music? Let me see. Play it. What kind of music is on there? Press play.
I'll do that, bro.
I think I gotta start it over.
No, you don't gotta start it over. Slugger, Roddy Rack, Honeycombs, DJ Slugger, Young Buck. That's not music for kids.
Because a man bought a phone, he was gonna throw it away. We asked him did he want the phone, and so
But BJ is not old enough to make adult decisions.
Wait a minute, it's just the phone he gave him.
It's
today.
not just the phone.
And the man said he can throw it away, so he gave him the phone.
But you told me that you had got him an Android the other day.
He got a new Android at home. The man gave him this today. Did the man give you this today at your telephone play?
Yeah.
See there?
Okay, well, he's not supposed to have that.
Well, I'm just saying. He got a big phone. He got a phone like that. But it's bigger than that.
That's fine, but he's not supposed to have what he's not supposed to have. I understand that.
The man told me he could have it. I said, well, he can play. He said, I got some games on there. He said, but look at it. Whatever you don't know, trash it out. That's what I said.
Yeah.
I said, I'll look at it when I get to my
Right, because why would he need another phone if you just got him a phone a week ago, though?
He said he wanted it.
Just because he wants, so we give children what they want? He could say he wants $1 million. Can I give him $1 million, though? Exactly.
I go with that right now.
So your girl got another package today. Let's see what we got. From Just Beyond Success Boutiques, my boutique. DBS. I don't know if you can see this, but it's DBS. We got some different DBS. Let's see what we got.